Sorry, I forgot to record this. I'm just hitting record now.
Oh, you're good. No worries.
And then that happens, but I apologize. You
No
get
worries.
the hard part. You knew the first part anyway. You didn't need to review that.
No.
Okay, so log of x squared equals 2.2.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to solve that?
When you have to solve it with E somehow,
Well,
or
yeah, you're
is that
right.
right?
But I can do something first.
Okay.
Do with an
Oh,
exponent of 2.
move the natural log over. So
Well,
the
moving in front. Hold on a minute.
okay.
So it becomes 2 natural log of x equals
Uh-huh.
3.2. So now what
Okay.
can we do?
Can you divide by 2?
Yep. So now
Okay.
we have natural log of x equals 1.1.
Yeah. Let me get my calculator.
Now convert that to exponential format. You want to know how to go from logs to exponential and exponential to log. Definitely need to know how to do that.
Okay.
The easiest thing to do here is to convert it to exponential.
Right.
Remember what the rule is. You take the number on the far left, which in this case is e, raise it to the power of the number on the far right, and it's equal to the argument. So e to the 1.1 is equal to x. Now you need your calculator. In other
And
words,
now,
the calculator
okay.
would not have solved that.
No.
But once you convert it to this, in other words, once you solve it for x, well, now your calculator will certainly spit out an answer, round it to 3 decimal places, which means give it to me to 4 decimal places.
So I got x is equal to 3.004.
What's the 4th decimal place?
There isn't one.
So it's 0.
Yeah, so we could just say 0.
Okay, so that rounds to 3 decimal places to that.
Cool.
That's why I needed to know the 4th one to make sure you were rounding it properly.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
92. Convert that to exponential format.
So it would be, how could we do this?
Remember, it's the number on the far left raised
Yeah.
to the power on the far right equals the argument. So what's the number on the far left?
3, x minus 4.
That's, excuse me, that's an e.
There. Oh, that's okay.
Natural log means base e. What I
Base, yeah.
really mean when I say the number on the far left, I mean the base.
Okay.
So the base to the number on the far right, that's equal to 3x minus 4. Now,
Okay.
that's just a number. So let's solve that for x without solving e to the 7th. So what's the next line?
So the next line would be, well, e to the 7th. Could we? Yeah, we could just plug that into the calculator.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's the next line. What's the next line?
So it'd be e to the 7th plus 4. And then it would be
x.
Divide by 3.
So
maybe e to the 7th.
by 3. So that's x. And you can get that out of your calculator.
Yeah. So let me do that real fast.
Well, and in fact, they have this common denominator. So the answer is e to the 7th plus 4, all divided by 3. So whatever your calculator gives you for that.
I got
4 decimal places.
So 366.8780.
What's the 4th decimal place?
There isn't one, so just 0. So it just rounds to
Okay, that's too coincidental. that when I take e to the 7th, it only has 3 decimal places. I do not believe it. And the reason I don't believe it is because e is an irrational number.
Right.
Which has 1,000,000 decimal places.
Okay.
So taking it to a power is not going to reduce the number of decimal places. What's going on here is your calculator is set to only give you 3 decimal places.
It must be, yeah.
You got to change it. You got to get at least 4. Because otherwise you're not sure you're rounding off properly.
Okay.
The 4th decimal place may be a 6, and that gives you a different answer.
Okay.
You'll lose credit. So, you have the Inspire?
Yeah.
Let me pull out my Inspire and see if we can figure out how to get you on at least 4 decimal places.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
You're going to need more than 4.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure I know how to do it. Let me turn on my calculator here.
No worries, yeah. I'm still figuring out this thing after a while.
Oh, it's hard.
It is.
Definitely hard. Settings. It's not in settings? Wow. Must be in my documents. And then settings, maybe?
Document settings.
Gosh, no.
Display digits. Oh, it'd be under display digits, fix 3. So maybe fix
How'd you get
4.
to that?
Let me do it again. So you go the settings, document settings, which is 2, and it should be display digits.
Ah, there you go.
And then fix
Now
4.
I've got floating 6. You must have floating 3.
I'm at fix 3 right now. Do you want me to switch that to fix 4 maybe?
Yeah, that'll solve the problem for here. Now, if you get another problem that says round it off to 4 decimal places, then you need it more. I would set it on 5 just to be safe.
Oh, okay.
I can't recall any problems where they ever want you to round it off to 5 places. The most they ever want you to round it off to seems to be 3. So set it on 4.
Yeah, there we go.
And now do that same problem. E to the 7th plus 4 all divided by 3. What do you get now?
Let me do that again. As you have to press OK at the bottom. You can't just exit out or it doesn't save.
That's correct. You're right.
Okay. So e to the plus 4 divided by 3.
Make sure you divide that entire thing by 3.
Right.
You need parentheses around that.
I'm still getting the 3 decimal places.
Check your settings again. Make sure that it still says 5.
Yeah, it keeps changing. Don't know.
I'll bet it still says 3.
It does. Don't know why.
Change it to floating 3 instead of fixed. Or floating 5 if you can. Mine was on floating 6.
Okay.
So change it to that if that's your only option.
Yeah, let me try that.
I'm not sure what the difference between fixed and floating is. But mine was on floating, and I think you're better off on floating.
Okay. There we go. I got it.
Okay.
So I got 366.8777.
Ah. So it made a big difference.
So 9. Yeah.
It's actually 0.878.
Uh-huh.
So we were off by a lot.
Yeah.
Just because your calculator was off. Now, I don't know if you have to turn these in or not, but let's go back and do the original one. In other words, take e to the 1.1. What did you get there? What did you get now?
3.0042.
Okay, so that was correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let's try to do another one here.
Yeah, we could do number
93. 93 involves combining two log terms that are on the same side of the equation. How do you combine those two into a single log expression?
If it's subtraction, would you just divide them maybe?
Yep.
So it would be, we would combine them, right?
Uh-huh.
So it'd be log base 3 of, well, you'd have to combine the parentheses.
Well, not combine them, divide them.
Oh, that's what you do? That's all you do?
Because you're subtracting.
Oh,
In other words, if you're subtracting, you divide the arguments. If you're adding, you multiply the arguments.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay. Now, that's equal to log base 3 of x. So now what can I say?
Can you plug that? No, you can't.
Equate the arguments. You can think of it as dividing both sides by log 3, even though that's not really what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it produces the same answer. In other words, 2 minus x over x plus 3 has to equal to x. That's the only way. If the log base 3 of, we'll call that a, equals log base 3 of b, then a equals b.
Gotcha.
And that's what I've done by writing it like that. Is the argument on the left is equal to the argument on the right.
Okay.
Now, solve that equation.
Let me think. So we could multiply both sides by x?
Well, not by x. You got to get rid of the denominator on the left.
Or, I mean, yeah, x plus 3.
Okay, so now I got 2 minus x equals x times x plus 3, which is x squared plus 3x. I'll solve that.
And then we could, so subtract 3x, so 2 minus 4x is equal to x squared. Square root both sides, so you get 2 minus 4x. Sure.
This is what we get when we put everything on one side.
Yeah.
In other words, I add the x to get 4x, and I subtract the 2.
Okay.
So I get that. Okay.
Cool.
Well, it's cool in one respect, but not very cool in another.
No.
That doesn't factor nicely.
No, it doesn't.
You have to use the quadratic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. When I use the quadratic, I'm going to end up with two answers. Since we're out of time, I'm just going to approximate what they might. Well, I can probably figure it out. Minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4ac, which becomes plus 8 all over 2. So we got minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 24 all over 2. Square root of 24 is 4 times 6, so that's 2 root 6. The 2's cancel, and I end up with minus 2 plus or minus root 6. There's our answers.
Makes sense.
Well, the problem is
one of them doesn't work.
Whenever you solve a log equation with a quadratic, you always end up with a positive and negative answer. And remember that negative answers, you cannot take logs of negative numbers.
No.
So the negative, the minus 2 minus root 6, that's a negative number.
Okay.
Minus 2 minus root 6, well, minus root 6 is about 2.3. So that's about minus 4.3. And if I go back, the minus works fine for there, but it doesn't work for that. And it actually doesn't work for that either. In other words, if one of our answer causes the argument to be negative, then you lose it. So the only answer we have is minus 2 plus root 6. Turn that into a number
Um,
on your calculator to
yeah, let me
round to 3 decimal places.
yeah. 0.4495.
0.4495. That means 0.450.
Yep.
Okay. Now, does that violate that domain?
No.
Does it violate that domain?
Yeah, it does.
No. 4.5 plus 3, that's a positive number.
Oh yeah, no, that
Remember,
works.
this
Okay.
has to be positive. It can't be negative.
Oh,
It
it
can't
has to
be
be
0.
positive. Gotcha.
And it doesn't violate that domain. So
Okay.
this answer is what we get when we did all the math. And it's the only of the two answers that does not violate any of the domains. And
Okay.
you have to go back to the original domain. You can't plug it into that to see if it violates it.
No.
That's not sufficient. You have to go back to the original problem.
Gotcha.
Dylan, I'm going to let you go.
Sounds good.
I like what I see. You're picking up this stuff. You're
It's making
lost.
sense. Yeah,
You're getting
it's making
lost.
definitely.
Always remember that to solve log equations, you turn them into exponentials. To solve exponential equations, you take the log of both sides.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect. You get some rest. I know you had a long day, so.
Yeah, boy, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, you do that.
December 21st, to be honest. But
Trust me, me too.
yeah,
They can't count
yeah,
later, right?
me and all the students. The students are probably looking forward to it a lot more than I am.
Uh-huh. Right. For sure.
All right. You have a good
Awesome.
good week.
Yeah, you too.
Next time. Bye bye.
Sounds good. Thanks for